Howdy guys, I'm back with more Path of Exile, the Fall of Oriath. Last time I left you guys off here in Shavronne's Sorrow toward the end of, toward the end of Act 9. Well, I'm assuming it's the end of Act 9. I could be completely wrong, but what I'm assuming is near the end of Act 9. My game froze up in here. I don't know if it's all the fancy effects going on or what, but it's funny because I came in here, started recording just now, and my game actually froze up again. So here's hoping that the third time's a charm. It seems to be going, I've gotten further in here than I have before, so not sure what's going on with the freezes. I mean, I've had disconnects and stuff before, but not really a whole lot of actual game freezing. So this has kind of been a bit on the unusual side, but alright, I guess that's a small enough area. Alright, so here's Shavronne for, what, the third time now, at least? Let's see if I can't make her dead for good. Wow, that was really fast. I was expecting that to be a bit more of a struggle. Well, that was a cool area. Alright, well now that one's out of the way. I've still got Maligaro and Doedre, but I really don't understand why they didn't make a waypoint like either right here or right outside, because if you disconnect or the instance closes, you've got to go, to the quarry and through like two layers of the belly of the beast. It's quite a long run back, but whatever. I actually did manage to get a new belt on the way through here, so I can't really complain too much. I added the life to it. I know it's not really perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than what I was using, so I'm pretty happy about that. And I got a kind of a ring side grade. It's got some pretty serious resistances on it, so I don't know if my resistances are going to take another dip or not, but this way I can kind of free up some other slots so I don't have to focus so much on resistance. The only problem is the energy shield. I swear I'm getting energy shield on everything, and I'm so tired of getting energy shield on every single item I pick up. I really am. I feel like I'm getting so much energy shield stuff, which, does absolutely nothing for me. Oh well, I guess it's better than like percent energy shield or something stupid like I got with, I don't even remember what item I got that had like some kind of percent energy shield. It was very obnoxious though, so at least, it does a little something for me. Not really. Okay, yeah, not really. I'm just trying to justify it. Nope, it sucks. It sucks all the way through. Well, this is kind of a interesting little area. You have to just walk through all of these little curse monolith things. Let's see, like here's Enfeeble. I haven't really been paying attention to what curse they're giving me, but that's kind of Doedre's thing. I was expecting the curses during her fight, not really during the walk over to her, so this is kind of unexpected. These nightmare areas are really interesting. They're definitely just like a hodgepodge of different elements of different areas. Like you've got trees inside of this place, and then you've got still got walls of the decaying beast and every manner of monster. I'm just killing all sorts of stuff in here. And then you got rocks, grass. It's crazy. Alright, let's see what Doedre's going to do. Oh, she's going to smack me. None of these bosses have been particularly difficult so far. I mean, not that these guys were ever difficult, but gosh, I was expecting their third form to be a little bit more of a challenge. Alright, one more to Maligaro's misery, but I forgot I just got a point here, so I'm kind of, at the same impasse as I was, kind of debating on whether I want to go up toward this or go down toward that. And some of you have even recommended I grab was it Crimson Dance? I don't, I mean, I, I don't really know how good that is, or if I should finish filling that out if I grab that. I don't know. I'm just, I mean, it sounds like it's good. I mean, I just don't really know how bleed focused I am. It seems like I kill things so fast. I'm not really sure how useful that will be for me right now. Maybe when I'm mapping, I don't know. You know, like I said, I still have a few points to play around with because I am only 68, so I'll get a few more points to mess around with, but you know, I've already spent so many of my refund points. I figure from this point going forward, I need to be kind of careful about what I pick, and I've pretty much already committed to axes doing this. Now, I do still have 5 refund points, and I know there's refund orbs and stuff, so I can still undo this if I find an amazing sword, but if I start going down through this node, that's going to make it a lot more difficult. So, you know, I feel like grabbing either this is a for sure bet for when I'm mapping, but this might be better sooner where I can, you know, stay alive. So I know I'm going to probably want to go down this route eventually anyway, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and start working my way there because I'm going to need it one way or another at some point, so that'll give me some time to figure out the rest of my build, and I am still killing things, you know, decently fast. I'm not really dying a whole lot, so I'm not too worried about having more health, even, but I do know that I'll have, you know, dying issues later on, you know. So I don't mind grabbing the health, and plus, you know, now that I'm doing this whole blood magic thing, my health acts as kind of my mana or whatever anyhow, so definitely want to keep my health up as high as possible. I know I've got a pretty decent amount right now. I'm pretty happy with this amount. I know it could always be better, but I feel like the amount I have isn't terrible for the point that I'm at. Of course I am, you know, always super over leveled. I'm 68, the area's 64. Oh, hey, come over here, you. It's like, what, my 3rd or 4th map. I think the game's a little bit glitched because every single time I pick up or I loot a map, it wants to shove one of the help windows down my throat about mapping. It's like, hey, do you know there's like thousands of fun maps to do once you've done all the things? It's like, yes, I know. Leave me alone now. I'm aware of this. Alright, just another cool little area here, and Maligaro's arena. Alright, so I guess he'll be nice and easy, just like the others have been. Oh, he's gonna disappear here for a second, and gosh. Alright, we got little Maligaro ghosts here. Oh, I didn't realize he was Maligaro the Broken now. Geez, I guess I should have probably looked at the names a little bit better. Jeez, these guys are so sick of having to come back and fight me. They were probably like, not this guy again. Alright, let's talk to Sin now.
At last, our trio joins to become one foul spirit. Destroy that creature of darkness, and let us be rid of this place.
Alright, kill the Depraved Trinity. Now this should be a brawl here. Ooh, is it going to come out of... Oh, no, I go in? I go in?
At last, our trio joins to become one...
Oh, okay, alright, so he just says the same thing. Alright, and I go. Okay, that is horrific looking. Oh my goodness. What is going on? I'm very terrified. There's stuff on the ground, there's like some blood splatter here, and then the Depraved Trinity just jumped off a cliff. That can't be good for me. Alright, it's just swinging its giant squiddy looking, like, what, how many arms does this thing have? One of them's holding a book. I guess it's just an amalgamation of all, well, I mean, obviously of all 3, but a book even? Like, it even transformed the book. I can kind of see Shavronne's head right there, but the rest of it's kind of an amorphous blob. Oh man, this is freaky. I would love to be one of these people that gets to design the bosses. They're so freaky looking, man. I mean, this is some stuff of nightmares. Look at it. Oh, geez, what happened? Where am I? Talk to Lilly? Lilly, Weylam, where did I get spit out at? Look, is this all... What's all this equipment down here? What? What happened? Okay, it's... Oh, is that my loot? Wow. Oh my gosh, this is the outside of it, so it's just pouring blood out here. This is nuts. What did I go through there? All right, well, I guess let's talk to Lilly. Looks like she's hanging out with Grandpa here. What an interesting... Of all people I expected to talk to when I was done with that, it wasn't these guys.
You're questioning me, the great sea mistress Lilly Roth, about how she so happened to find you failing at drowning on some god-forsaken fleshy piece of land. Thought it'd be obvious. Grandfather and I, we came to thank you for our little reunion here you started. Caught wind that you were playing around up here with that dead beast from the locals. So we followed your trail, dreading we'd be finding your body bits strewn all over this god-forsaken mountain. But lo and behold, what do we get? Our favourite exile twiddling their thumbs. Your lucky old Weylam's still got some thaumaturgical prowess in his bones. How the hell did you end up here anyhow?
No
Well,
idea.
I suppose you'll be wanting us to ferry you over to Oriath. Take care of that nasty cannibal god Katava once and for all. Well, we'd be glad to oblige. There'll be plenty of treasures in ruined Theopolis just sitting there for the taking, I'm sure. Say the words and we'll set the sails.
Oh, so we are returning to Oriath. Cool. Noticed once again her dialogue doesn't quite match, or her text dialogue doesn't quite match what she was saying. Of course, overall, Act 9 has been nowhere near as bad as Act 8 in that regard. And hey, look, I can actually... Get into this here. Hold on. There we go. Aren't I just the most dashing not gladiator, duelist, slayer, whatever the hell I am you ever saw? Bloodbath, blood shower. All right, Weylam, what's up, man?
I ain't gonna lie to you, friend. You look like actual shite. Like a real big steamy pile of goat droppings. What in the bloody hell happened to you since we last crossed compasses? Well, never fear. Your favourite Captain Old Rottooth is here to save the day. I guess I owes you a bit on account of bringing Lilly and I back together.
Well, you know what? I would love to have a grandpa like Grandpa Roth. You know he's telling you the truth. He's brutally honest. Hey, you look like shite. Why, thank you, Grandpa. Yeah, I just went through hell, but thanks. All right, let's talk about Lilly.
Aye, as you can see, I finally found a missing powder in my shot pouch. By that I mean my courage. Managed to make my way over to Lion Eye's Watch to see my granddaughter finally. Tell you, I don't know what in the blazes I was fretting about. She took to me like a fish to water. It was as if no time had passed at all. Anyhow, it'd be lucky for you that we did so, as we were out looking for you to offer our thanks. Followed me compass, listened to the thaumaturgical whisperings of my ship, and next we know, we'll be following a trail of blood and guts leading straight to you, wasting your time in the middle of God knows where.
Wasting my time? Wasting my time? I'm over here saving this whole little world and I'm wasting my time? Oh, it's maddening. Alright, well, I guess that's all for Act 9. Let's bounce out of here.
Ready to go? Just in time as well. Grandad says there's a good thaumaturgical headwind blowing our way.
Alright, so back to, I guess, so Act 10 is going to be rehashed Act 5, huh? Well, this is kind of cool. I actually kind of like the fact that they redid the areas to be perfect, or reused the areas, because, I mean, well, I'll rant about that in a bit. Hold on, let's talk to these guys first.
Well, once more, you owe me for letting you sail around on me ship. But that's okay. I'm the kind of gal who can play the long game. Sometime in the future, I'll be in need of your services once more. You can pay me back then. All right, come on. You got a job to do. Lives to save, goals to kill. Better get to it.
How do I end up indebted to people by saving the world? That doesn't even make sense to me. It's like, you're welcome for making sure you live another day? I don't know. Alright. Oh, yeah, we still have Bannon. I forgot about him. Tell me about Bannon. What's he been up to?
That Bannon's a real siren if you ask me. Even after the beating he's taken. Bulging muscles, pretty yellow hair. I'd be willing to bet the barrel of his piece is longer than a ship's mast as well. If you be understanding me drift. It's a shame, in all honesty, that he's one of them foolish holy men. Though even that ain't so bad. Lilly Roth loves herself a challenge.
Well, it's not the length of the mast that matters, it's how it sails and I don't know how to make a joke out of this, I'm sorry, let's just move on before I embarrass myself. Kitava!
Not much I can say about that raving monster. While he still breathes, it fares ill for all of us. There ain't no amount of ocean we can put between us and him that Kitava won't see as simply an extra jug of wine in his cup.
Oh geez, so I guess I'll be dealing with Kitava here, oh boy. Alright, Weylam.
Welcome ye to Oriath.
Welcome back, you mean?
Smell that fresh landlubber air. Ain't nothing like the air in Theopolis, full of debauchery and pollution, hidden neath the garb of them holy Templars. Seems the place has changed a fair bit since last I were here. A lot more blood and entrails than what I remember. Well, best Lilly and I stay here, where it be safe. You journey on ahead, matey, and see what blimey buggers you get to kill next.
Oh boy.
Say, you're not in the market for a new cutlass or anything, are ya? Recently unlocked the Black Crest's old armory. Found a whole shite-load of weaponry down there from another time. If you fancy it, be glad to show you my stock. See if there's anything in there you'd like to pick up.
Well, that sounds pretty nice and handy-dandy. Let's see, anything axe-like? Probably not. I'm actually using... Ooh, that might be... that might be worth trying to upgrade because, yeah, look what I'm using. It's just better, sadly, than what I had. I might actually need to go through some of this and try to... I'm actually kind of tempted to buy this and see if I can't get a decent weapon, so why don't I actually do that, and then I can unload... Oops, I'm trying to sell things in the buy screen like a dumbass. Here we go. There we are. Alright, I'm going to finish... Okay, I'm going to hold off on his dialogue here. I want to take a quick look around. We got Navali, Lonnie, Sin, the stash. Is this going to be... I guess this is the Oriath docks, a final refuge, backed hard against the waves of a raging sea. So this is the final town, I suppose. Well, I am going to go back to Highgate really quick to see if there's any new dialogue. Well, never mind. I didn't think there would be, but let's find out what everyone's up to. Oh, never mind. Nothing new from Pitaris and Vanya. Kind of disappointing. I know that Arasha had a little... Oh, both Tasuni and Arasha have something. Well, I'll start with Tasuni since I'm here.
By the gods, and by the death of gods, you still live. I don't know what you did, but I can sense something has shifted. A weapon has been discovered, perhaps, to turn the tide of bloodshed brought on by these sickening gods. Tell me, what did you find? No, I mustn't inquire, for fear of losing my mind as well as my eyes. Oh, I am struck by a peculiar yearning, Exile. It is as if I am a man stood on the precipice of a cliff, with an insatiable longing for the ground. Please, leave me before the frenzied voices inside my head devour my body and soul.
Yikes. Okay, I didn't realize you were on the brink there. Way to reinforce my decision to crown Arasha. Alright, let's see how she's doing.
There I was, tending to the animals when the ground moved beneath me. It was like the whole earth groaned in pain, a cry unlike I've ever heard. The mountain trembled, and for a moment it seemed as if death was due to visit us, here in Highgate. I don't know what you did, outsider, but I hope you did not hurt the mountain. She is our mother, and if a stranger were to wound her, I would slit their throat myself.
Really? You're welcome for everything I've done. You're welcome. My goodness, these people are so ungrateful, aren't they? My gosh. Alright, so I could try, let's see, I think I've got some rustic sashes laying around. I think what you get is based on how good of a rustic sash you trade, so even though this one is blue, since that's that one, I actually really like that one. I'm actually not sure if I want to sell this one. But maybe I'll try that one, and I have a few in here. Like I said, I think what you trade is kind of dependent on like maybe the level of this or something. So I really don't like, I'm still kind of new to doing this, so I might screw up here. So get one of these, and oh, I guess I should upgrade this first if I'm going to trade it, right? Yeah, see, even, I mean, it's pretty. This is a pretty decent axe, I think, maybe. I think if I can sell properly. Let's see. Alright, so that will give me a 60% increased physical damage, but if I do that one, a 46%. So the yellow one is definitely better. So let's see, I got that, which is an upgrade. I mean, it's still like blue quality, so it's kind of whatever. But definitely I think it's better than what I had, so, or what I'm using now. It's just a matter of fixing the gems. Now, maybe I should just use an augmentation on this, and yep, there we go, 27 strength. I think that's all it can hold. Yeah, no more space. So I'm gonna spend a minute trying to fix this, and I'll be back. Alrighty, back in Act 10 after fixing up my new axe here. I think that's not too bad at all until I get something better. It'll tide me over. Alright, so I'm going to spend a few minutes grabbing the dialogue and figuring out what's happened here in Oriath while I've been off saving the world. I'm going to start with talking to Weylam Roth about everything. Lonnie.
Now, there's a woman who can hold her own. Oh, hey, look at her! A marvelous specimen of the female persuasion. Reminds me of Meredith, me long-lost sweetheart. Oh, would it be that I could have a woman like that at my side once more? Someone to stare out over the bow into the salt spray of the sea with. Someone to warm the cockles of me heart. And a few other things in my bed at night. Oh, yeah. Now that'd be the dream.
Oh, you old pervert. Your granddaughter's right there. She's in earshot. Well, I don't know. I guess she's sitting here talking about people's masts with her grandpa right there. I didn't notice the cute little kitty right there. Did you guys? Look at that kitty's eyes. That kitty's got some real freaky glowing eyes. Alright, Bannon.
Lousy, good-for-nothing blackguard. In all me years at sea, never have I ever serviced a filthy blackguard on my lovely ship. If the Brine King still drew breath, I tell you, having this Bannon aboard would be an affront to the Lord of Salt and Scale. Him and his kind have hung, drawn, and courted too many of ours. I don't rightly trust him. Not at all.
Even with a god speaking through him? Alright, how about, what do you have to say about your granddaughter there?
Me thinks Lilly is fixing to have her way with that damn blackguard. Well, I tell you, not if I have anything to say about it. Look at me. Never thought I'd see the day when old Weylam were to be the prudish grandfather. Yet here we are. Damn conscience'll be the death of me.
Gosh, I feel bad for Lilly. She thinks she's an adult. She doesn't have her grandparents or parents breathing down her neck. She's finally old enough to make her own choices, and then Ghost Grandpa comes and tells her who she can and can't boink. Good job, Grandpa. Alright, so no sign of Bannon here, even though these two are talking about him. So, I don't know, is he... Nope, he's nowhere in this little tiny town. Alright, well let's see, let's talk to Lonnie. Oh, she doesn't have anything to say to me. I guess I'll be Lonnie. The prodigal returns. Have you brought with you a weapon to free us? The ravenous one has only grown more hungry since you left us, and I fear your efforts may be too little, too late. Kitava has all but destroyed us here, and our poor departed Utula's cultists have taken a hold of the city. There is a little ground left to tread that won't cause the grasping claws of Hinakora to reach out to wring our pretty little necks. Oh, great. So things here are still screwed up. I see your eyes, Exile. You wonder why I am here instead of at the Overseer's tower. I'll tell you the horrible truth. The tower has fallen to the infernal devices of Kitava. That witch, Valinta, is to blame. She lowered a secret ladder and led Kitava's cultists right to our very beds. Bannon and I barely escaped with our lives. Together, we cut through the hordes, but it was no use. They had us surrounded. Bannon created a distraction which allowed me to flee. When I last saw him, he was perched atop the rooftops, holding off our enemies, though how long he will last, I cannot say. If you are going that way, perhaps you can find him and return him to me. I have grown fond of that Templar. The fire of Nagamahumahu burns within his belly. It would not fare well for us in this war if that fire were lost. My gosh, all the women around here are just hot and steamy for Bannon. Well, I like how she's talking about how she last saw Bannon, way up here, fighting people off, and you don't know how long he's got, but you tell me this giant long story instead of, oh my gosh, Bannon's in trouble, go help him. It's like, oh, perhaps if you're over in the area, if you happen to see my dear friend that risked his life to save me, if you could throw him a hand or a lifesaver, that would be just splendid. It's like, why don't you portray the urgency of how urgent this is? It's like, find Bannon on the rooftop and save him if you get around to it. Okay. Alright, let's see, Valinta. I believe Valinta was not of sound mind. At night, we often heard her cry out in sleep, fearing unseen things. I wanted to toss her out on the streets, let the beasts of this fallen city tend to her madness, but Bannon refused to leave behind one of his own. Would that he had have listened to me. Valinta thought that if she gave us up to Kitava, the ravenous one would look kindly upon her. Well, look upon her he did, but what he saw and what she became is the thing of nightmares. Her nightmares, perhaps. Well, man, whatever her nightmares are have to be pretty bad because she followed piety around, so I'm interested in seeing what has become of Valinta, and, lo and behold, Act 10 is just the same as every single one of these other acts where we lost someone. Act 6, Nessa. Act 7, Silk and Groost. Act 8, Zombie Tolman. Act 9, Oyun and Kira, and now Act 10, we've lost Valinta, not that from Act 5, not that she was the nicest person ever anyway. Alright, let's keep talking. Lilly. In another life, perhaps Lilly and I would have sailed the oceans together. I enjoy her presence and the conversations she brings. She has a call for adventure, coupled with a kind of optimism I rarely see. I hope that once all of this settles down, we might remain friends. I don't know, it sounds like you might have a little love triangle with Lonnie, Lilly, and Bannon. 2 L's and a B. Alright, Weylam. I don't quite enjoy Weylam as much as I do his granddaughter, but Lilly favors him, and so I will too, unless he does something truly horrid that forces me to revoke my opinion. You probably don't want to listen to him talk about the fantasies he has about you then, Lonnie. Alright, Sin. A dark angel on your shoulder, perhaps, and another time the presence of this god would trouble me, perhaps even frighten me, but in these days I cannot afford the sensation of surprise. If he has helped you this far, as you say, then one might expect he will help you all the way to the bitter end, and that is good enough for me. Alright, I like her. She still, despite everything, has a pretty level head. I like her. Alright, Kitava. Kitava's appetite has grown bigger than even his devotees had expected. His hunger moves faster now than his followers can keep up. I suppose the canals were the perfect answer to their problem, really. They converted them into one giant feeding trough to bring food to his mouth at a speedier rate. What? I don't want to be here, man. I'm gonna see some crazy stuff with Kitava, aren't I? Alright, Kitava's cultists. Before their god rose from the depths, Utula and his cultists had direction. They wished to see Kitava free to stage his horrifying banquet. I was foolish enough to believe these theological mumblings as symbols for Karui freedom. Now that their prophecies have come to fruition, the cultists have lost their minds. It's hard enough to believe the end times of your chosen religion will ever happen, let alone last longer than the final pages of your holy book. Man, the thing with cultists, I don't think they had minds to begin with. Can you lose what you never had? I don't know. Alright, let's see if Sin actually has some dialogue.
It is good to see that you survived, my friend. But then, you have fared far worse. The froth of a violent ocean should be no problem for you. While we have been absent, Oriath has become a necropolis, a swarm of Kitava's wretched servants. The situation looks more dire than I had first anticipated. Before we make our move, we must know what we are dealing with. I send you, Exile, as a scout. As the only scout that would stand a chance moving through the shifting forms of this nightmare. You must discover where Kitava resides. Only then can we issue our final blow.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You need me to scout. What are these things on your back? Are they just for show or do they do anything? Flap these things on your back, fly your ass over here, and you do the scouting while I stand here looking handsome. I mean, you need me to scout. Well, you can't do it. What? Okay, whatever. The Dark Ember.
You needn't fret. The Dark Ember is still safely in my possession, and will remain so until our final confrontation with Kitava. That carnivorous blasphemy will fall like a log cut from the darkest of forests, and we shall watch him burn as Oriath and the rest of this world breathes a sigh of relief.
If he makes it sound so simple, and is it ever that simple? No. Alright, Lilly.
Lilly Roth is a noble... how do you say it? Scallywag?
Scallywag.
I have witnessed the rise and fall of many great men and women over the eons. And Lilly is well on her way to being amongst the very best of them. I suspect one day her name shall be sung in salty taverns the world around. I must remember to keep on her good side, now that she can see me. The beautiful pirate princess hunting down the great god Sin would make for a fantastic tale, I'm sure. But one I would rather have remain in the pages of fiction.
I agree. The Noble Scallywag sounds like a bar name. Alright, well, nothing else to see in town here other than this... Oh, it's a tree. I thought that was a sculpture. I don't know. Alright, to the cathedral rooftop. I only have one quest, and that is to save Bannon. Well, I mean, apparently Sin has me scouting or some nonsense, but... I think that's just the game's way of saying just go into the next area and stuff will happen. So into the next area I go, and okay, I thought I was going to explore here. What the heck? There's a monster following me and then it went back. That's weird. Alright, well, I guess I don't think there's really any reason for me to run around here exploring if I'm supposed to be heading to the rooftop, so... Oh!
You there! Exile! I am in need of your services once more. Help me.
You don't say, dude. Okay, defeat Plaguewing. Alright, so I guess Bannon is, I figured, would be looking, or coming up here and grabbing the corpse of Bannon, but he managed to sit there while they all stared at him and didn't do anything. Lucky him. Alright, he looks a little worse for wear, but he's alive.
Phew. I would thank God for you, my friend, if that weren't too on the nose. I felt for sure that this time it was my turn to depart our world. Kitava's cultists surrounded Lani and I a while back. We split up and I led a distraction so she could make best her escape. Funny, I really should have considered my own plan for evasion once I'd allowed her hers. In any case, it is good to see you again, Exile. Let us talk more in a safer space. I shall meet you back at the docks.
Okay, alright. So I seriously just needed to walk over here, cut through like 3 things, and then walk back here. Okay, video game, I'll do that. That took all of 30 seconds. Alright, hey, Bannon's back. Everyone's drop your panties.
Ah, good to see you made it back. You look at me with suspicious eyes. Yes, I know you have your apprehensions about me, and my new indwelling spirit. But if it helps a little, I feel innocence stirring inside me, awakening with an odd sense of gratitude towards you. It was, after all, your bite that returned him to humility, allowed the scales to drop from his eyes. If you are to go wandering the city in its current state, be careful where you step. Kitava's cultists are constantly on the prowl, actively seeking food for their god. What's worse, the passage to Kitava's feast is blocked off by 2 large black gates. We call them Kitava's horns, and they are utterly impenetrable to the motions of man. There is but one way in which we can reach Kitava and deprive him of his eternal meal. The Staff of Avarius lies somewhere amongst the rubble of the Chamber of Innocence, still billowing with holy power. If you were to find it and return it to me, I believe the power in the staff will act as power enough to break through the horned gates.
Is that so? Now I wonder if there's going to be an interesting dynamic here between Bannon and Sin, or no. I kind of feel like I want to go grabbing everyone's quest first before I grab his dialogue, just because I want to see if there's like any reaction to him being here. So I'm gonna go talk to Lani real quick. Oh, Bannon is alive and well in no small way thanks to you. I would be willing to guess. Without him being here, I would have lost my sanity or my life a long time ago. Take this gift as a token of both our appreciation. Alright, no problem. I'm glad I could be of assistance. Oh, lots of... I actually think, let's see, I could actually probably use that life flask. I'm using 2 Quicksilvers and don't really know if the Basalt is... I think that one's probably, especially since it's got immunity to freeze on it, I think I'll go ahead and keep that one. I don't really know if I would use any of these other ones, so I'll just take the life flask for now. And heck, I might as well go ahead and ID it and use it. Increased armor. Aww. I like this one because it removes curses. I guess I could re-roll. Well, I guess actually it needs, it could have a second mod on it anyway, couldn't? Oops, not that one. On it anyway, couldn't it? Increased recovery when on low life. Alright, well that's really good. I'll just keep it as is. And, alright, I guess I'll just leave it at that for now. Alright, what do you think, Lilly? Your man's back.
Now that the Brine King is nothing but crab meat, his sunken domain, the ancient city of Soartha, is ripe for the plundering. My granddaddy once dedicated a good portion of his sailing life trying to hunt down the location of that monolithic city. Then, while he were otherwise indisposed, yours truly tried to follow in his gnarled footsteps, track down the teardrop, a pearl as big as your head, carved with the clues to the city's subaquatic location. I was this close to to completing me grandfather's legacy when those damn Templar privateers raided me ship and took off with the teardrop, threw it in their reliquary here in Theopolis. As it were, now's the perfect time to retrieve that dazzling pearl. Think you can nab it for me? I'll make it worth your while. Maybe tick it off the list of things you owe me.
I don't owe you anything, and I'm super duper sick of people making me go on treasure hunts. There's a god that literally is just being fed through, and you want me to... I'm so frustrated. Now is now the time for this treasure when there's a crazy god on the loose? I'm so... Okay, alright. I'm too much of a spaz. Sorry, I'll calm down. Alright, Weylam.
Was a time when the ladies would be begging for a bit of old Weylam. But I ain't felt the warm caress of a woman in a long time, and it wounded me dreadful. During me time on the sea, I heard tale of Queen Doedre and her penchant for using this land as a kind of vault for all her special shinies. One such shiny be her famed love potion, supposed to attract the drinker's ideal mate to their loins, even if that mate be far across the sea. Old Queen Doedre kept the liquid in the skull of her favorite lover. Them damn Templars probably got their hands on it by now, and the potion's bizarre container has me thinking they probably went and tossed it into the ossuary along with the rest of the bones they got lying around. Exile, be you the friend I believe you to be, then find the potion for me, so that I can experience true love once more.
Okay, you want me to go and dig up every single skull until I can find the one that has your potion of getting laid in it. Okay, Grandpa. These two knuckleheads have the complete wrong idea, have their priorities on backwards. She wants a pearl, he wants something else. He wants a lover, and I don't think now is the time for either thing. Lonnie, can you go help him forget about this whole elixir thing? I have a feeling it's not going to work the way he wants anyway. Nothing ever works. No elixir. Don't trust elixirs in this game. They don't work the way you think they're going to work. Alright, Sin, you have a quest for me?
Then it is as I feared. Kitava's strength has grown insurmountable in our absence, and his horns now deny us entry to his feeding trough. Evidently, the hungry god has grown picky about what crumbs now travel towards his burgeoning throat. It is this strength that concerns me. I have spoken with our friend Bannon over there, a willful vessel of my misguided brother. I knew eventually we would need to enlist my brother's services, though I had hoped we need not do so this soon. Yet, it seems that we have no other choice. We must invoke my dormant brother, slumbering within Bannon's frame. Kitava's horns are a thing of great corruption, which only innocence's purity can dispel.
Ooh, and is it going to actually work
Before we
out?
proceed, I feel I must confide something in you. Bannon wishes me not to speak of it, as he is willing for the sacrifice. However, I feel you should know.
Here it is.
Once we invoke innocence, once we dredge him up from his cocoon inside the soul of Bannon, the man shall cease to be. Only the god shall remain. Do you understand what I say, Exile? If we take this path, Bannon will die. Excruciatingly so. Burnt with purity from the inside out. As I said, Bannon is willing to commit his life to this cause. But perhaps you should say your farewells before we move past the point of no return.
Oh, man. Okay, well, I guess is that Sin's way of saying, you're gonna wanna go grab all his dialogue. He's got a real short shelf life. Oh, poor Bannon. And go figure, the guy that the ladies love has to sacrifice his life, huh? Alright, well, let's grab his dialogue, the poor... Well, honestly, he doesn't look like... He's so roughed up, he doesn't look like he's got much longer anyway at this point. Alright, Kitava's cultists.
While they had me trapped, I heard those cultists' mad gibberings. Their words were akin to that of the ray-classed cannibals. Nonsensical sentences, accompanied by the most unsettling of cackles. I fear that they have indulged too deeply into Kitava's famed habit, and caught the laughing plague that so often accompanies men and women who choose to engage in the consumption of human flesh.
Oh man, so cannibals get the giggles. That's some pretty crazy, scary stuff, honestly. So I'm gonna be running through here while they eat, just with laughter everywhere. I don't know, this is going to be crazy. Alright, Kitava.
As I'm sure you've noticed, that damnable god Kitava no longer resides on the rooftops, as last you were here. No. The monster has acclimatized himself to Theopolis. He has set up quite the banqueting table for himself. It appears he believes he has a lot of consumption to catch up on. Best I can tell, his new residence lies through the ravaged Oriath Square, and past the canals, now the feeding troughs. Heed my warning, friend. Tread lightly through that area, for those cultists are out and about once more, actively seeking food for Kitava to devour.
Oh man, so they laugh at you, they cannibalize you, the canals are feeding troughs for a crazy god. Jeez, this place sounds like hell. No wonder he's a willing sacrifice. I think I would be too if I had to live in this place. Alright, innocence.
I wouldn't blame you for being curious about the god now dwelling within me. In truth, I'm honored to have been chosen to be Innocence's vessel. You may hear this and think I sound like a pious Templar fool, but it is hard to remain an unbeliever when the gods walk around you, and indeed one sleeps inside you. No need to fear, however. Our poor purity god surely regrets the actions of his past. I can't see him, but I can feel his spirit, wounded and cowering somewhere inside me. At night, I hear him whimpering over his wounds. I must say you hurt him good, but as much as I feel his pain, I also feel a budding newness in his heart. He is growing again, and relearning the compassion for humanity that he had long since lost.
I don't know, I'm still feeling skeptical because Innocence's release will kill Bannon, and I don't know, I mean, it seems like it's gonna be hard to break a few centuries worth of bad habits in just a few days. I don't really actually know how much, like real time has passed between Act 5 and Act 10, if it's been a few weeks, a few months, a few years, but I'm skeptical. Alright, Chamber of Innocence.
The Chamber of Innocence is exactly where you left it, though cultists and vandals may have had their way with it since last you visited. Innocence himself no longer cares for the place. In fact, I feel a pained revulsion for it, hence why I cannot go myself. But I'm certain you are more than capable of forging a path through that broken temple once again.
Oh boy, and I'm sure it's not going to be anywhere near the same. Alright, Kitava's horns.
Back when the cultists took control of the city, the very ground itself shook, as if pained by some dark abomination. The gnarled horns of Kitava erupted from the earth like spiraling pillars of corruption, weaving together a barrier impeding travelers from moving through the city.
Oh man. Alright, so it sounds like a lot of the city is going to actually be cut off because of those horns, but, well, that's one of my quests, is to deal with it, right? Alright, just going to check everyone, make sure I got all of their dialogue, and I didn't. I need to listen to more about Lilly needing this treasure.
Every cell-dwelling lad or lass knows of Sir Arthur. They call it a city, but it was more of a slaughterhouse than anything else. Old Salty himself ruled over the place, treating its citizens as morsels from his own personal pantry. Those who weren't devoured outright were picked to try continuous family line. They became fishwives like that pretty young Nessa near ended up being.
Ooh.
Well, the Brine King, as you know, was forced into a slumber beneath the ocean, and the city was said to have joined him there as well. A few folk managed to flee from the collapsing coral shards, start new lives for themselves, but I'll be reckoning they left all their valuables behind.
If only I could get in on some of those valuables. Alright, the teardrop.
Were a long time ago now, but them privateers, Took the teardrop, threw it in the reliquary, then took yours truly and threw me in those goddamn slave pens. Far as I can tell, they never did work out what the teardrop before. Lucky me, I suppose. It was tough, but with the help of a few other undesirables, I managed to find me way out of them pens and into the reliquary. Made an attempt to burgle back what was burgled from me. Boy, did we sure underestimate the size of them guards the Templars had on the place. Only I managed to escape unscathed. Me accomplices weren't to be so lucky. They ended up in Ray-classed, much like yourself. Fact, I believe you may have crossed paths. Creighton? Elira? Oak?
Oh, how crazy. So, at one point, I guess we're all kind of connected. What is it like? Is it 5 degrees of separation, 6 degrees of separation? Everyone knows everyone by 5 or 6 different people or something? That's pretty nifty. I think that's pretty cool. Alright, well, I think I've grabbed all of the dialogue here. There was quite a bit, and now it seems like we kind of know what we're doing in Act 10 here, so we're gonna have to go do some fetching of items, and Bannon's going to die. There's going to be something with Innocence, Sin, and Kitava, like a big final showdown or something, I'm not sure. And then I guess I'll see Xana at some point for mapping once I'm done with Act 10, I guess, huh? Alrighty guys, well, I'm going to go ahead and be done with Path of Exile today, and that way I'll be able to start fresh in the areas and start working toward these quests now that I've got everyone's dialogue. So, thank you guys so much for watching me play Path of Exile. I'm in the home stretch of the story, not a lot left to go. Thanks again guys for watching, and bye for now.